Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of how media and influencers helped Trump become the President of the United States in the 2024 election. In the last episode, we discussed how Trump's appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast helped him reshape public opinion. Now, let's move on to the next one. Number 2, YouTube influencer David Patrik and PBD Show. In addition to Rogan's show, Trump also sat down with Patrik Bet David on the PBD podcast, known for deep diving into business, politics, and personal philosophies. This was a different kind of conversation, less about the cultural moment and more about the mindset and strategies behind Trump's decisions. In a more intimate setting, Trump shared insights on the issues he believes will shape America's future, from economic policies to media distrust and his personal journey from businessman to president. One of the most striking parts of the conversation was Trump's vision for the 2024 election.
It goes from 64% Democrat to 92%. And it's been between 85 to 92% since 1964, right? You've come in and you've shaken things up. Do you think 2024 is going to be one of those moments where African-American men, they're like, listen, I'm sick and tired of Democrats feeling like they own me. I think I'm going to go to the other side. Do you think 2024 could be one of those years that we look back and say they lost the African-American vote?
They really lost it for a while, the Republicans. I mean, it started, I guess, with Barry Goldwater, if you look at the charts. But I did criminal justice reform.
He speculated on a potential shift in African-American voter support, arguing that disillusionment with past administrations could translate into increased support for Republicans. This was a standout moment, positioning him as a candidate aiming to bridge divides. Trump and Bet David delved into the growing distrust in mainstream media.
Claim that you did commit a crime is you kind of did kill mainstream media, if you think about it.
I did.
And that could be a crime for those guys.
I'm very proud of it.
And I want to show you this clip because this is the first time ever the phrase fake news was ever used. And from this moment on is when the decline started. Rob, if you can go in and play this clip.
And since you're attacking us, can you give us a question? Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Mr. President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are attacking our news organization.
Your organization.
Can you give us a chance to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can you state,
Quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
can you state categorically,
She's asking a question. Don't
Mr.
be rude.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
You're attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you give us a question?
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically that nobody... No, Mr. President-elect, that's not appropriate.
So, if you can
But
pause
isn't
it there.
that disgusting?
A topic Trump passionately attributes to his popularization of the term fake news.
He's a lowlife.
David explicitly
the guy
called
in-
Trump a killer of mainstream media, which is a
an
term to
inauguration on
stick
the
for
stage.
ages with most
During
grassroots.
that time, that season,
On foreign policy,
what do you think is
Trump
gonna
made
happen
headlines
during
by
that season?
declaring
Is
his
during that
confidence
season
in
Russia-Ukraine
resolving the
gonna be done?
Russia-Ukraine
During that season, you
conflict,
think it's gonna be that
suggesting
quickly?
it wouldn't have happened under his
I think
leadership.
the world's going to behave, and I think I will settle Russia, Ukraine while I'm president-elect.
While you're president-elect.
While I'm president-elect.
Wow.
You need that credibility.
Sure.
While I'm president-elect, I will settle it. You know, I met with Zelensky the other day. I have good relationship with Putin and with Zelensky.
He didn't look too happy standing next to you, though.
Well,
This bold statement
Look,
was a hit among
this is
listeners
a
who
war
value
that should have
strength
never
in
happened.
international negotiations. Bet David also brought out a side of Trump rarely seen in traditional media, delving into personal topics. Trump shared his thoughts on his
They
son
lost the
Barron,
African-American vote.
describing
they
him as
really
smart
lost it
and
for a
independent.
while, the Republicans.
Finally,
And
the
it
discussion
started, I
turned
guess,
to
with
Trump's
Barry
role
Goldwater,
in
if you look at the
passing
charts.
criminal justice reform.
But I did criminal justice reform. That's a big thing. They've been trying to get it. You know, I saw a guy named Van Jones. He's I don't think anybody knows who he is. He's a commentator for CNN. And he came to see me in the White House, and he was crying.
I remember that.
He was crying because I bring these things up because it's a lack of, I don't know, there's something about loyalty. You help somebody with something. He came in with a fairly large group of people, mostly black people, and he was devastated because criminal justice reform wasn't going to happen. Obama didn't do it, and didn't even come close. Bush didn't try. Nobody was going to do it. And I'm the only one that could have done it. And he was with a group of people that was, they were begging to do it. They were 5 votes short. And they had to be conservative votes because there was nobody else left, right?
Trump highlighted his efforts to gain support from conservative senators, framing it as a major accomplishment that doesn't often get enough media attention. Number 3, Flagrant Show. Moving from policy-centered conversations to a more laid-back environment, Trump took to the Flagrant podcast. Known for its candid, humorous approach, Flagrant brought out a different side of Trump as he shared personal stories, laughed along with the hosts, and discussed his family, politics, and humor in a way that was both relatable and lighthearted. The interview kicked off with a personal touch as Trump congratulated one of the hosts on becoming a dad.
I just became a dad. My buddy over there just became a dad, Mark.
Yep.
And okay, so here's first question. You have these children that are seemingly well-adjusted, successful, and I think most importantly, they appear to like you.
Yeah.
Okay. I grew up in the city, and there's a lot of people who had like very wealthy parents, and like the kids kind of resent them. They're almost like waiting for them to like die, and they end up in like rehabs,
doing drugs, God knows what. Yeah.
How do you raise them in the public eye where they, still become ambitious and successful?
So I do have good kids and 5 really wonderful children. And different, very different. They are so different. But, one thing that was in common that I did, I always used to say when I was with them or when they were leaving a room, I would drive them crazy. No drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes. I would say that.
Did you say that to Don Jr.?
Trump opened up about his parenting philosophy, discussing the importance of instilling good values in his kids and keeping them away from drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes. This was a refreshing glimpse into the former president's role as a great father. One of the most memorable stories Trump shared was about his son, Don Jr.
He could have a couple of his friends over for New Year's. Was it New Year? No, it was July 4th.
Right.
On top of Trump Tower.
Right.
And you said yes. He's like, I want 5 friends. You're like, okay, I'm out of town. Go for it. He brings 200 people over to Trump Tower. Okay?
That's right.
Okay. He says that you weren't supposed to be there. You end up showing up. You hear some noise upstairs. You come up. You go, what the fuck is everybody doing here? Get the hell out of my house. He said he cleaned for the next 36 hours. And he said, to this day, you have never brought up that it even happened. And he said, I'm starting to believe it might not have happened.
Throwing an unexpected party at Trump Tower. Though surprised, Trump praised Don's resilience and toughness, shaped by years of facing political challenges alongside his father. The conversation then turned to the challenges his family faced due to his presidency. Trump spoke proudly of Don Jr.
School of Finance, which is great, and he did well. But he went into the world of politics not because he wanted to, but because I was there, and I sort of automatically you drag the family in. Mm-hmm. And this guy, what he had to go through with Russia. He goes, Dad, they're asking me questions about Russia. I don't know anything about Russia. What's going on?
And Ivanka's achievements.
Ivanka did a great job. She didn't want anything. All she wanted to do was get people jobs. I would have made her the ambassador to the UN. I wanted to do that. I think she would have been incredible, the whole aura. She would have been great, but she didn't want that. She didn't, and that would have been a very glamorous position. Yeah. She would have been great there. All she did is go to see companies and hire people. She wanted, and she hired, I think it was like 10 million people, some incredible amount of people. She'd go to Walmart,
noting the strength they developed in the face of constant public scrutiny. Trump acknowledged that humor is part of his persona, a tool he uses to cope with the pressures of political life. This moment connected with the Flagrant audience, who value humor as a way to cut through the noise.
In what I do, if you don't have humor, you won't even survive.
Wait, why is that?
Because I think you have to have a light side. I see a lot of dark things. I see horrible things. I see things that are bad. I see political things that are hard. I mean, we have a lot of corrupt people in this country, and I see it. And horrible corrupt people. We have people that, I really do. We have from the inside.
Then came a topic bound to resonate with Flagrant's audience, Elon Musk. Trump praised Musk for his intelligence and boldness, sparking a lively discussion on the importance of public figures taking a stand on key issues. In a serious turn, Trump shared a past assassination attempt, describing his frustration over the lack of investigation progress.
Elon interviewed me on something. Yeah. And I think they said 275 million hits or listens.
That's a lot of people.
That was a
That's
record.
a nation. Yeah.
But it's a whole new, different way of
Can I ask you a question
getting the word out, right?
about Elon specifically? Is he your favorite African American?
He's a piece of work, I'll tell you. You know, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's obviously a brilliant guy.
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw the rocket engines come back, I said, what is that? Like a couple of years ago, I've seen rockets go up and then they crash into the water. Yeah. And I see the engines are coming back and they're landing.
It's unbelievable.
They're landing and they land on a raft in the middle of the ocean someplace with a little dot and they land right on the top of the spot.
And my wife can't parallel park.
I know, most people can't. But no, he's great. But he's got a great heart. He was with me, as you know, on the other night. Yeah. And we were honoring a man who got killed at a rally, Corey, firefighter, great guy. And it was a beautiful evening. But Elon went out and he loved the crowd. He loves the country. Yeah. And he's picked a side. A lot of people don't want to pick a side. I have a lot of people that are
As the discussion wound down, Trump outlined his hopes for his legacy and his optimism for the future of America. He emphasized his commitment to making America great again and his belief in the country's potential.
Broken up mess. And it's broken in a lot of ways. But what I would like my legacy to be is the same as the term MAGA, Make America Great Again. I'm going to make this country great again. It's not a great country right now. It's loaded up.
The Flagrant episode ended with Trump speaking about his social media influence and his determination to address national issues. It was a unique moment of relatability and humor, showcasing Trump's lighter side and his commitment to staying engaged with a new generation of followers.
I can say, Alex, I'm doing it. He said, thank you, sir. No, thank you, sir. They turn the cameras off with this guy. Do you ever see it? The cameras are off, the lights go off, everyone. Because you see, he's a deep trouble. We're in no trouble. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, I asked Alex, he's an influencer. You know, he's a big name influencer. I don't know if he's in this league. I don't know who the hell. But I said to him, knowing nothing about influencers, I said, who is the biggest of all the influencers? Sir, that's the easiest question you've ever asked me. Who is it? You, sir.
That's true.
Wow. I said, really? I never thought of it. He said, you're the biggest. You have hundreds of millions of people. You have more people than anybody else by far. You know, before they took away, I went from having 280 million on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Mm-hmm. The three of them combined, 280. I think I was number one because Zuckerberg told me that. He came to the White House. He said, congratulations, you're number one on Facebook. You know, so I went from that to having...
In our next episodes, we'll dive deeper into how Trump's appearances on popular podcasts and YouTube channels like Theo Von Show, Full Send Podcast, and more helped him solidify his path to the presidency. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on these exciting discussions. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.